Anything with me? I'm here for you, Kevin Iole.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. First of all, Derrick Lewis becomes the all-time knockout leader in UFC history. Guy that had a rough start to life and everything. What does that say about the guy that he can say, all the great fighters you had, Derrick Lewis is now your knockout king?
Yeah, and if you look at the amount of time that he's been here, he's the records that he's broken, it's impressive, man. And he looked good tonight. You could see he was waiting. He was timing those shots. He was ready. I don't know if you guys have seen him in person yet, but he looks pretty lean for Derrick, too. He got in good shape. He said that last fight pissed him off, and he wanted to make up for it tonight, and he did.
Do you feel like your heavyweight division is at the best spot it's ever been in the Zuffa era? You think, you got Francis, the knockout guy. You got Cyril, maybe the best athlete you've ever had. You called Stipe the best ever. Jon Jones is coming in. You got this guy. I mean, do you feel like the heavyweight division itself is the best you've ever had?
Yeah, no, it's very good. Listen, I don't know how you guys feel, or the fans, but this Gon versus Francis fight is a badass heavyweight fight, man. This is going to be exciting. I'm looking very forward to it.
Just with the depth, though. I mean, when you go, sometimes you've had the
listen,
past.
any division is about depth. It's all about depth. Whether you look at the heavyweight division, the 170-pound division, the 55-pound division, it's all about depth.
I know Chris was ranked number 7. There was some talk that, maybe he was pushed into a fight with a guy way more experienced than him. When you look at it, do you think experience was a factor in this fight? Was Chris ready for a guy at that level?
I don't know if it was experience. I think that Derrick Lewis came very motivated and very prepared for tonight. He came off a bad experience in his hometown that he wasn't happy about, and unfortunately, Dacus was the recipient of that tonight.
To change to the co-main event, Belal was ranked number 10. He obviously did something nobody's ever done to Wonder Boy, so I want to get your thoughts on that. But secondly, he's trying to call out the champion and say he should fight for the title, and he's pointing out there's a lot of rematches in the mix there. What do you see in Belal? Do you feel like he's near the championship? Is he crazy to say that he should be fighting Usman? Or
Belal looked great tonight. He looked great tonight. And breaking this fight down, when you look at this, Wonder Boy has great takedown defense. He's been in there with tons of wrestlers trying to take him down. I thought Belal was going to have a lot of trouble tonight with Wonder Boy staying on the outside and picking him apart with big shots. And that was not the case. So he looked damn good. We got a month off now from fights, so me and the boys will be in, matchmaking and figuring out things, filling in some holes for next year, and we'll see what's next. I'm definitely not going to matchmake tonight, but Belal looked damn good and exceeded, I'm sure, most people's expectations.
I know we texted a little bit, but I just wanted to, kind of get some thoughts on that Angela Hill fight. I mean, I guess you could go either way in it, but 30-27 to me seemed to be the one that was a little crazy in favor of Lemos. What was your thought there? 30-27
is insane. Either way you had the fight. If you had the fight for Hill or you had the fight for Lemos, there's no fucking way you score that fight 30-27 in a million years. The fight is 29-28 all day, whichever way you went. I had Hill. I thought Hill won the fight.
And then my last question for you, the year's over now, and so, you've said that this was going to be the biggest year in UFC history. By how many measures can you say that? Like, in other words, most pay-per-view attendance, gate generated, all that kind of stuff. How many measures can you say it was your best year?
Yeah, we were going through it the other day. It goes from the level of most pay-per-views ever sold. Every live gate was a sellout, plus we broke records, to the Panini trading cards, being at like 130% over forecast. Every way that you could basically measure success this year, we did it. We broke every single record that you could. The tokens that we did, they made like 1 million tokens. 1 million tokens sold out in hours. I mean, it's just madness.
You're in right here. Since we're talking about
I'll get you a list.
Okay.
Of everything. But go ahead.
Talking about the heavyweight division here, Jon Jones this week, it came out that he had struck a plea deal about the incident that happened here. Have you spoke to him or his team at all about how that could affect the timeline of when we see him back?
Ask me the question again.
So Jon Jones reached a plea deal from the case that happened here in September, and the charges have been dropped.
Oh, you're
domestic violence.
The what?
The domestic violence case.
Okay.
So he reached a plea deal, so
I have
like,
no
that's
idea.
behind him.
I have no idea about that.
So you haven't spoke with him since in the past few days?
Well, I haven't, no, but
Okay, gotcha. So,
I'm sure my people have.
but you're still hoping to have him fight the Gon and Ngannou
I
winner?
have no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
I'm curious. There's been, going into 2022, you guys announced Columbus. There's been some rumors about Brazil and anything like that. Is there been any changes to the approach for
we're
travel?
talking about Columbus. We're talking about March, I think, is London. But, COVID's flaring up again, and who knows what's going to happen in these states. And I've told you guys, Vegas, Florida, Texas, Arizona, whatever happens. I don't care.
Yeah. Did you see the NFL's change in their policy and how they're handling COVID testing and everything like that? And
Could I see what happened?
Did you see the NFL, how they're changing their testing policy? And will that, does that change your perspective on how you guys might approach things?
I think that, through what I'm hoping was the worst of the worst, we cruised right through it. So I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I could care less what happens.
And I wanted to ask you, Nate Diaz and Dustin Poirier were talking about wanting to fight in January, and they said they both agreed to it, but the date maybe didn't work. Is that a fight you guys are hoping happens sometime?
Yeah, listen, if that's a fight that they want and the fans want to see, we'll do it.
Okay. And last thing from me, are you leaving here directly to go watch Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley, I imagine?
No.
No? There's a bunch of your fighters there. Nate Diaz is there, Jorge Masvidal.
I thought you already saw that fight, right? We saw that fight already.
Yeah.
You going to watch it?
Probably. Nothing else
fun.
to do.
Sounds like you're in for a fun evening.
There you go.
Hi, Dana.
Yeah.
Over here. This week, Khabib held a press conference announcing that his promotion will be in the United States. I'm wondering if you guys talked about anything, if you gave him any advice, or what you think about him coming to the United States.
Have we talked about his promotion being in the United States? No, I haven't talked to Khabib about his promotion at all. But yeah, he's going to find out what it's like to be on the other side, and it's not as fun as it seems. He's going to learn.
If he asks for any advice, or
If he doesn't know, he's going to know. See what I did there?
if he asks for advice or any help, will you give it to him, or are you going to kind of let him learn the hard way?
Am I going to what?
Are you going to let him learn the hard way, or will you give him any advice or any help?
Listen, if he calls me and wants advice, I would absolutely give him advice. But yeah, I think he's going to learn the hard way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana.
Hey.
Cub Swanson said that he would like a fight in Palm Springs before he hangs it up, and I guess there's a new arena opening up in Palm Springs. Would you be open to doing that?
A fight in Palm Springs. Isn't exactly a massive market. Probably not. Somewhere in Southern Cal is as close as he's going to get, I think.
And then talking about Nate Diaz, another fight that people have just been chiming about is Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. Is that even a possibility?
I think we have a fight for Tony Ferguson. I think we have him lined up with somebody.
Is it fun?
Is it what?
Is it a fun fight?
Is it a fun fight? Yeah, they're all fun. Look at tonight. They're all fun fights. Even the cards that get doubted are usually the best cards, ever. So, I just posted that this is like the third most finishes in modern UFC history. Tonight was an incredible night. It's the way you end the year, boy, let me tell you.
And then speaking of ending the year, I just wanted to kind of reflect on the year. Do you have any favorite fights that you watched? And if you had like a knockout of the year, maybe a fight of the year?
It's so hard. Right now here, fresh thinking about the year, you got to go with Gaethje versus Chandler. That's the one that stands out the most in my head. But the Pena-Amanda Nunes fight was just awesome. It's tough to pick one, especially when you've had a year like we've had.
And then looking forward, I guess, are there any fights that really stick out to you to kick off 2022? Like you have Kattar versus Giga.
Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou is what I'm the most excited about right now. Right here, right now, two big badass heavyweights in their prime. One is slick, has great footwork, great hands. The other one has devastating one-punch power. I mean, just doesn't get any better than that.
And I guess finally for me, the heavyweight division, man, it's just a logjam up top. Do you kind of have it all planned out, or is that going to be something that you and the matchmakers are going to work out? Because you got Stipe, you got Jon, and Derrick's now reinserted himself.
Yeah, well, we don't have Jon yet. I mean, Jon has, no. I mean, listen, that's a good problem to have in the heavyweight division. If there's so many great fights that you want to see, it just means that the 22 is going to be packed full of great heavyweight championship fights. I love it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, just one more. I know you guys are going to Houston in February. Is there any chance you'll try to put Derrick on that card and do a quick turnaround for him?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's going to depend on how he feels. And, obviously if you go to Houston, it would make sense to have Derrick, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about Surreal Gone. Is there any concern about travel issues or restrictions about getting him over from France? Are you guys trying to encourage him to come now?
Yeah, I mean, we have tons of concerns going into, the end of this year with what's going on right now. Here we are again with college football, NBA, NFL. These guys are all canceling games and shutting down. So what does that mean about travel restrictions and all this stuff? But like I said, we smoked right through hopefully what's the worst of it, last 2020. So I'm not worried about it. We'll figure it out. And one thing we do, we always figure